Hello, everybody, and welcome to 1,000 Marriage Questions. I am not prepared in any way right now. Hey, look, we got people just showed up out of nowhere on my screen. How did that? Donna Wilburn has done something, and it's go away, everybody. Okay, so anyway, this is not a professional show, everybody. I'm Brad Tassell. Welcome to 1,000 Marriage Questions. Today, we have two very special guests. We have comedian Dale Jones and more comedian Jodie White, who are a married couple. And of course, we have Donna Wilburn, who just dive bombed the show, which is very sweet. But first, I have been hired to talk about this, the Ed Fringe Vampires Ball Ultimate Halloween Party. You still have a chance till the end of the month to go see our show and help support what we're doing. It's the cutest little show in the world. And right now, I'm going to play a teaser.
Ooh, Igor, this is not my match. The Vampire's Ball is a swanky affair.
Master, I brought the shovels.
Good, Igor, good. And did you bring my latte?
Yes, Master. Skim milk, true splendor.
Good, Igor, good. Let's get started. Oh, yes, Igor, yes. Raise the platform. It's time.
Well,
Hiding from ghosts. We're hiding from ghosts. Oh man, I think we're toast. We're hiding from ghosts.
Come inside.
So please go to ultimatehalloweenparty.com. You can see the full show at the Edinburgh Fringe. And then next year, we're going to we were supposed to be at the Fringe this year, but obviously it was canceled because of COVID. And we're going to bring the show there next year. And we would love your support. This week, one of the things I want to talk about marriage-wise is I hope in all this time, as you are a married couple, you are starting, as we're still kind of quarantined, you are starting to get routines that you enjoy together. Because one of the things I'm anxious about all the time is what the future is holding. Where am I going to be? And obviously with Dale and Jodie can talk as comedians that we have had a tough time getting work or having work, and our work has disappeared. But what I've tried to do with my wife is have something so stable that I've got that. And we now have our Sunday morning ritual, which is we get up every Sunday morning and we get up early. We don't sleep in too late, and we have coffee. I have a chai tea latte. Then we start getting ready. Then there's other things that happen at some point in the morning. And then we go on with our day, but we look forward to it. And it's time to be together. And I know that I think Jodie and Dale may have the same rituals, and maybe Donna too. Okay. So I'm sorry, too much talking from me. I'm going to reach in. By the way, everybody, you know, we have the bucket with all the questions in it, and I will go in right now and grab one, and I will read the first question. Oh, hey, you know, this is pretty apropos. How did you know when you met the person you were supposed to marry? So right when we come back from the intro, we will talk about that question, and we will start. 1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. Okay. It's over my face again. What? Okay. Hold on, everybody. I want to turn off the overlay. It's driving me
It's a
nuts.
little vain about that freaking thing. Like, my
Oh,
face.
it's over
Don't,
my face.
don't hide my face.
You look better, Donna. We had trouble with Donna's internet a second ago. Well, welcome, everybody. First of all, hi, Donna.
Hi, Brad.
See you. And of course, let's meet Dale Jones and Jodie White. Say hello.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
So, okay. So what was the question? Because this was a pretty cool question. How did you know when you met the person you were supposed to marry? We probably don't need a lot of therapy on this one, Donna, but it is an incredible question. And do you guys want to start and then I'll answer it later? So Jodie and Dale, are you the people that you were supposed to marry, and how did you know it when you met?
Well, since Dale's my fourth husband, I think it just takes a lot of tries.
Just keep trying until you get it right.
Yeah, just keep trying until I don't know. I was young and I had a baby, so the first time it was, hey, let's get out of my mom's house, but my last name was Heffelfinger, so then I just went through the phone book and looked for shorter names, so that was easy for number 2, and then
old-fashioned dating site like that. That's how we did it in the olden days.
Yeah. No, the moment I saw Dale, there was just this reaction that went off in my body, and I could literally feel some type of cosmic pull. The first year we were together, now I could care less, but the first year we were together, I just felt this. Anytime I was near him, I could feel this pull coming towards him. And, besides, when you're married a long time, everybody knows, other things go to the way, but he's my best friend and he's the person that I'd rather spend time with more than anyone on the planet. And for me, that's how I know he's the one.
Dale, was it the sex or what was it?
Told me.
Yes. Yeah.
He told you.
This is it. We're doing this or get out.
How did you know she was the person to marry? Because she said, I'm the person you're going to marry.
Right.
Yeah. Here's
Right.
the link.
He's like, okay.
I've got a book of other women for options. You're not going to find anyone. Let's just do this. No, to be honest, it was the same way. The minute I saw her, I was like, whoa. And I don't know. I'd never felt that way before. And I couldn't. And I tried to break up with her 1,000 times because I had a big debt from another divorce, and I thought I should get all my ducks in a row, so to say. And every time she said, okay, I'm leaving, I would go chase her down and go, no, don't go.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Donna, her husband, he just had a really hot body. She didn't care anything about him. Didn't care. It still doesn't. As long as he.
So let me tell you how I knew he was the person I'm supposed to marry. I didn't, but I was pregnant, so I figured that's the person because he's the daddy of the baby. So,
and you stuck it out because you felt, but you grew to know that, right?
30 years later, they're not babies anymore.
Yeah,
And
but you grew to know you'd be together forever because a lot of times, as Jodie said, that it happens. You do get pregnant, and you don't want to stay because it's not going to be the right thing for your kids or you in any way, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, my quick story. Jason Anders says, "What's up, guys?"
Hey, Jason.
You guys know Jason, of course. He's another comedian, works for Carnival, brilliant guy. Was a beat boy, or is that where you were, Jason? If you want to put it in the comments, he was a break dancer for many years.
Like a Backstreet Boy.
Well, he does it in his show. He does break dancing and he does stuff like, he might be a little old to do it now, but I remember working with him for Carnival, and he does all this dancing. And he also works in the Dominican Republic. Jason, if you want to come out, he works in the Dominican Republic with homeless and helping people. It's amazing. He does amazing stuff. But he says hi. So Jason, he's Popper. He's a Popper, is what he says. And Jodie and Dale don't know who you are. Okay, so my story is the exact story that Jodie just told. When I met my wife, when I saw her first time, something changed in her eyes. I'd never seen this before because no one had ever been attracted to me before. So she was giddy out of no, and she was that way for a year. And I always say, sadly, that my reaction was, I'd like to bang that. That was my, but it took me 2 years to truly know that we were going to spend the next 70 years together. Yeah. But she was in like that. Matter of fact, she was out with a friend one time and a guy that looked like me was there. And my wife's friend was like, why are you acting crazy? She just was acting crazy. And she goes, he looks like Brett. For some reason, she just has this, this serious attraction to something like me. And I don't understand it.
I don't either. I don't know.
Well, I know you don't. And I know Jodie doesn't.
I get it.
Yeah, Dale does. We had a little thing. We worked together at Crackers a couple weeks ago, and I was with Jodie. That's for me right there.
Every time. He just brushed past me.
A little sparkle in your eye.
The green room was very small at Crackers. Let's just say that. The green room was pretty small. By the way, you know what? I was going to do a couple questions before we did this, but you worked with Dale and me. Okay, Jason keeps putting stuff.
I'm distracted.
I'm sorry. Forget it. So here's the thing. But I want to talk about you guys for a second because I really love your story. So how many kids do you have, Jodie?
3.
3 kids. And so Donna, what they did was that Dale, you guys tell the story of how you with the kids and what happened.
Yeah. So Dale and I tried to. Dale, yeah, he wasn't going to stop talking. I'll just.
The joke. What was the joke?
He's laughing that Dale, you tell the story, and I started talking. That's the way.
Oh yeah. That's not even an option. You're like, why do you even say that? I don't even know. Okay.
Yeah. Dale had never had any children of his own, and so when we got together, we were a little older, but we had my tubes untied, and we tried very hard to get pregnant and spent a lot of money and did not make it happen. And that's heartbreaking. A lot of people go through that. But my middle son came to Dale. Their father wasn't around a whole lot in their lives. And my middle son came to Dale and said, hey, would you consider adopting me? And, he was 30 years old or 29 years old.
Your son at the time was 29 years old?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's cute.
Would you consider adopting me? And Dale's like, absolutely. So then Dale went to my older son and was like, hey, your brother asked, and I was wondering if you would be, and before he could even finish the sentence, my oldest son was like, yes, absolutely, yes.
So we went to the we went to the courthouse, and there was a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds going in, and I walked in with 2 grown men. And you could not slap the smile off the judge's face. She wasn't making fun of us, but you could tell it was the last one of the day. And
that's cute.
She smiled like that the whole time. She just absolutely loved it. And then they put the teddy bears in front of the boys, and they were like, what's with the bear? And the bailiff is this big burly dude. And he goes, everybody gets a bear. And then they made bets that I would.
Teddy bear. Oh.
And I started crying, and they all made bets that I would. And it was a good day. It was a good day. We did that in where we're at. We were in California. I don't know what town.
Somewhere around LA. We were in LA County.
So that was a good day. That was cool. And then the next day,
very hairy.
Yeah, I had a corporate gig the next day in St. Louis, and I had to fly out. So they all called me a deadbeat dad. And
he leaves. Yeah, nice to meet you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.
Well,
pretty cool.
Super cute.
I literally cried when you originally put a long time ago when you said all this. I cried. So it was one of the neatest things, one of the neatest family moments. And I think a family is people who come together in just so much love and caring. And even though both your sons could literally make you slap yourself in the face and say, stop hitting myself, and you're a big guy. I mean, it's not like Dale's a small dude. He's like 6'1", he weighs about 210, and he's
big. They were like towering over him.
I know. And it just,
I'm like 5'3", so that would be like.
He's 5'10", 170. He's not that big, Brad.
I tried to explain this in Indy. He's like,
how much have I shrunk?
Go with it. Yeah, 6'1". That's me.
How much have I shrunk? Oh my God. I must literally have. I used to be 5'10", 170. I must be 5'8", 140.
That's what happens when you get old, Brad. We shrink. That's what happens. Enjoy 5'1" in a minute.
By the way, Joe Marlotti just said, great story, Dale never had to change the diapers. So that's nice. But
you got the comedian. You will have to change diapers.
That is Joe Marlotti, professional comedian. Joe Marlotti is he's mad because he gets to come here sometimes and we banned him from the show. So
Joe Marlotti saved my life.
Oh, you could tell that story.
We were done with the show and we were heading to the crew bar, showroom back of the ship, crew bar front of the ship. So we walked to the front. We were going down 2 flights of stairs. I caught my heel on the stairs and went down. And Joe caught me right before my face hit the stairs.
Gosh.
I gashed my leg open. I still have a scar from it. It was huge and it got infected. But if he hadn't caught me, I would have knocked
In
out.
your face.
Right.
Yeah, I would have knocked out. I would have banged my head. So Joe Marlotti is my hero.
Wow.
Story
Yeah,
that talked in the tree bar, so Joe get arrested.
Say that again.
That's the story Joe made her tell, so he wouldn't get
Oh,
arrested.
okay, that's great.
Yeah,
I worry because Joe comes on the show and he says he has a wife, but she refuses to come on the show or be anywhere. So there may be something in an attic somewhere that we don't know about. Okay, so I just told.
Like Psycho, she's in a rocking chair.
Okay, so when we talked about what kind of questions people ask, here's this. What would you do when you're looking for the remote and the couch cushion? You find a purple dildo and it's not yours.
Am I a male or a female?
Well, now, Dale, we often have to think about, is this a male? Is this a female? Or who is finding this? So I don't know about
teenagers.
Yeah,
Now.
the purple one. His is big and black, so
Right.
I don't know.
Mine also.
You know it's not his.
It's not his.
I'd say purple would be a girl's.
Yeah.
I don't see a guy going for purple or sparkles or anything like that.
Like a My Little Pony thing.
Oh man! Oh please, God, no. Save the children. But well, wait. Let's. This isn't where I was going with this. Whether
It's a big
it's
difference.
his or hers is
No,
it?
if it's a guy's, if I'm like finding that and I'm a girl and I'm finding that, I'm like, ooh, maybe my husband's into something that he's not talking to me about. And I'd be like, hey, you want to share? Like, if you want to go there, okay. But if I'm a guy and looking and it's a girl and it's like my wife's, then I would just say you left your dildo in the couch and go put it away.
So, do you smell it to see if
I bet
will that tell you something? I'm sorry.
it
I
would.
apologize to the world. So, but okay. So this is. I'm thinking,
gross.
by the way, it does say not yours or your wife's. So I didn't see the last part.
Then there's a burglar coming in and like doing things on your couch. That would be gross.
A burglar.
Oh,
it's-
one of your
Like,
kids.
someone come in.
Like
Maybe yeah, it's one of your kids.
yeah, we have kids.
He said it's not yours or your wife's.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's too many people that live in our house. It could be anybody's.
So do you wave it around? Anybody? Who's this?
Anybody. Yeah.
So I guess the question is, would you then try to find out whose it was?
No.
Yeah,
I
I would.
In this house, we would. We definitely would. We put it on the table and probably put it on a platter and put signs around it.
Whose is it?
Like a candelabra?
Claim your dildo.
How does it work? Here's what happened here.
What had happened was
It was Professor Penis in the study with the purple dildo.
An interesting game of Clue. That would be interesting.
yeah.
Oh, we should do that. That'd be
That's a good idea.
Invention.
Now, we have only the one daughter who is 18. So if we found that and it was in the couch and it was not my wife's or mine, obviously, we've made that a thing. We would then leave it there and hope she
What
found
if someone
some
else
way.
finds it in the couch? You can't like leave.
There's no one else to find it in the couch. No one's in our house.
Yeah, we have a dog. We can't do that. We'd
Yeah,
have
you
to-
can't do that. But
I'd
we
probably
would
just put it on her dresser then. Like, here you go.
no, because if you put it on her dresser, she knows you found it, and then there's uncomfortable.
To have a dildo, she's old enough to take the consequences for leaving it around the damn house, and then she won't leave it in the couch next time.
That's true. That's
There
true.
you go.
On
Let
the
her learn.
refrigerator, say, claim it.
What, Dale?
I think we should just put it on the refrigerator and say claim it. That's the way this house is. We just
Is that how it works?
secret.
I want to amend what I said. I think, because that's the dad talking, my wife, we would pretend that I had no idea about it, and my wife would go to her and say, hey, by the way, you may want to not
That would
have
work.
this out.
Sounds good.
And she'd be like, oh, okay. But I think just with the dynamic, if she thought I was involved, it would be a little more stressful.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No girl wants to know that her dad found her sex toy.
Yeah, that's right. So
there's
that's
our daughter.
Oh, hi. How's it going? Ask her if she would leave her purple dildo in the couch.
So it's marriage questions. One of them is, what if you found a dildo in the couch that wasn't yours? So we got on this question about like, well,
She's like, bye.
Kids, like, what would you do if you found a dildo in the couch that wasn't yours?
I'd ask Grandma Wanda.
What?
And I would ask Grandma Wanda. Dale's mom lives with us.
Probably grandmas. They're forgetful. Like
she dropped her punchline and she's out.
Yeah. What would Grandma Wanda say?
She would laugh. She's got a great sense of humor.
Yes, she would laugh. Blame it on the dog.
She'd be like, "That's where it is. I've been looking everywhere for this thing. What the heck?"
Like all stressed out. Like
okay. Well, so this reminds me of a story I heard on the ship real quick. A guy comes up and he goes, "I'm a plumber. And I went to a house and the guy's like, the septic tank is it keeps getting stopped up. What's going on?" And so the guy's out and he finds all these used condoms in the septic tank. And he says, "Look, man, you and your wife cannot be throwing your used condoms in the septic tank." Well, you already know what happened. He said, "My wife and I don't use condoms." And he's like, "Oh, well, tell your son or daughter we don't have any kids at home." And he said, "I slipped out of there so fast that..."
like a true story.
Oh,
yes,
that's true. No.
No, he told me, he goes, "If you can make a joke out of this, go ahead." But a couple months ago, I got a call. No, it was a true story.
Wow. Embarrassing.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's embarrassing. I mean, that's a kind of a sad thing. Okay. All right. So are we done with that? Do you want to be done with the dildo thing?
Yeah, I think we're done.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
I like your answer, Brad. I vote for Brad's. Let the wife talk to the daughter. Pretend you don't know anything.
What if you just have a son?
I'm a therapist. I know many therapists who might need.
I mean, what if you just have a son and you have the dildo on the couch and you just have a son? What do you do?
Have Dad talk to him about it?
Would Dad talk to him about it?
I don't think his mom would want to talk to him about it.
He wouldn't. I'd be the one. So.
I would talk to him about
To a son?
Yeah.
I would talk to him about it.
That's not a man-to-man dildo conversation? No?
Again, we put it on the table during dinner.
You just sticking with that one. Whatever you find goes on the table.
The reason I say that, this family is all about, we're very open and we're very go for the joke, but we have our serious moments too. And if we did something like that, we would all bust out laughing and
That's good.
be an I think.
Yeah. The younger boy, when Dale and I first lived together, and Dale had just moved in, we just started living together. And my son walked into the room, butt naked, stood in front of us and said, "Mom, do you have a condom?"
How old was he?
28.
I'm thinking like he was like 10.
No, 25.
25.
And he thought it,
Open.
it was hilarious. So that's just our family dynamic.
So funny.
So yeah, dildo on the table.
Yeah. Now I get it.
Well, and I love that because I think when people can be more open, because we're so restricted so often that that you can't be open about these conversations. And now that's a little farther than I would go, but I think that's beautiful. That's a little, I can't be naked around. I have trouble. My wife and I like the fact that there is one person that I truly am comfortable naked around, but I am not comfortable naked around anybody else.
Oh, I don't
I'm
do that.
comfortable with you naked either.
What,
Yeah.
Dale?
We don't all walk around the house like, no, that was just being funny. Yeah, the rest of us don't do that. Just clearing that up.
Okay. I was going to say, because we all thought you did. We thought it was nudist city.
No, it's not a nudist colony. It was he just thought it would be funny. That was just all.
Okay, that leads me to a question that's not on this sheet. Have either of you done the nude cruise?
No.
I have not.
I haven't either.
However, I did a nudist colony a couple of times when I lived in Florida. They had a nudist colony gig. And the first time I went and did it, they gave you the option whether you wanted to be clothed or not. And I opted to wear my clothes. The second time they asked that I wear clothes.
Please wear your clothes.
Not the venue, the booker. I guess they had some problems with some of the comedians, like going naked or whatever. I don't know. But then they're like, please, you can dress, in lace or whatever you want, but wear clothes. So
that was Brad's last show, I think.
I'm going to message you a comedian that I know caused that problem.
Oh,
I'm not going to say his name,
okay.
but I'm going to, and you will say, yes, that is the comedian that caused that problem, because I know who did that. So, but I wonder, because I did a nude cruise. I did the nude cruise, and they said you could be naked, but there's no way. I took my shirt off one time, and I just, something about this wanting to be naked on everybody else and your marriage, and there being nothing sexual about it whatsoever. Matter of fact, they're all very conservative.
Right.
That just kind of skeeves me out a bit.
Yeah, I really thought that the nudist colony would be made more like swingers and parties, but it's not. They were very family oriented, and all of them, very conservative. And I was surprised. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all.
Donna, have you ever dealt with this in your practice with people that are?
Well, this is Las Vegas, and we do have some interesting hobbies that people have. And I haven't really looked into the mentality of a nudist, so I don't know the motivations in there. I'm thinking it's like various reasons they look into that. I do know some very well, but I guess I haven't really been like, explain to me why you do that. Like, I haven't done that. So I don't know. I'll have to research that one.
They were nice people. Although, do you guys remember Fryman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Loveliest man in the world. I love Fryman. A little complicated, but he used to do a bit about being on the nude cruise where he said a guy came up to him and said, it's good to see a family show finally. I can't stand that dirty comedy. He goes, that'd mean a lot to me if your junk wasn't touching my leg. Fryman. Okay. So, hey, I can't get laughed with my own jokes. Let's do jokes. Hey, okay, here's the next one. And this is a very mundane one. And it is a mundane question. When will my husband stop leaving his dirty socks all over the house? Donna, we're just going to go right to you to talk about couples that argue about leaving crap all over the house.
It's a never, I'm thinking. And I gave up many, many years ago. And if I don't like it, I just pick it up. I don't sweat the small stuff. I'm not going to argue socks. Like, there's bigger stuff to argue about. I don't even care. Or if I don't like it, I'll go pick up your socks. Like, it's not a big dilemma. If you don't like it, pick it up or tell them to pick it up.
Is that what you're telling couples?
Yeah, it's not a priority. It's not something to, if someone's that mad about like socks left on the floor, like if they get that emotional about it, that it's, please help me. I think they have the issue, because that's not a big deal. That in itself, not worthy of that much emotion. So something else to it.
Is there an underlying problem for the most part if that is where they're going to keep throwing their anger?
No. Yeah. Like that person may have control issues, where they're not comfortable unless everything's perfect. That's a stress. They're not managing their stress very well if you're getting emotional about socks on the floor. So there's a solution. There's a solution. Pick it up or tell them to pick it up. That's about it. Solution. What do you guys think? Is this an issue with you? Do we have anger issues about socks? Like, is this something I should do?
No. I kick mine off.
We don't have issues like that. We're both, neither of us are clean freaks, but we keep, stuff tidy. And so we don't have issues. I'm not sure I had those issues with any of my husbands. So maybe I just picked neat people. I guess if it's important to you, you should have picked somebody neat. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a bit anal, and I think they have issues.
We pick on each other. Like she'll come in and go, "This doesn't belong here," and then we'll just giggle. But I mean, it's nothing major.
So
yeah. If there's stuff where I'm like, stuck, you know, I don't want his backpack in the middle of here, I'll just say, hey, that doesn't belong there. And he knows to put it somewhere else. So we don't argue over it. If it bothers me, I say something. But I mean, we're not kicking our
it
socks.
doesn't have to be a big deal, right? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I keep going over in my head, what is the real problem when somebody has this much problem with small things here and there? I can't think of a time. Our house was in disarray from March to August. And then when my wife's father died, we brought in 10 million things that sat around forever as we went through them. And we complained that we had all this stuff, but it wasn't anybody's fault. And even if I lived this or here, she would pick up or I would. There's got to be some sort of underlying anger about something else in somebody's marriage that this is the thing that just they keep hammering on. And
little things, and that one just broke the camel's back.
But even so, that's like, to me, a person who is getting angry about little things.
Yeah.
That's an individual issue to me. That means you have an issue. If you're that upset about these little things, then you're not managing yourself very well. That's what I would say. Meditate, relax.
Or a control issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control is related to anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
The more anxiety and stress someone has, the more control they want.
Dale, you have a problem with what?
I like it. My dad had his tools all over the place. So every time we went to go work on something, you spent 45 minutes looking for the screwdrivers. So I can't stand that. So I have to have things in certain, but I'm not a neat freak. But you're about the same way. When we move, you don't want any empty boxes. You want to move in the house. You want to empty all the boxes and get everything put up.
Yeah.
But it's not anal. It's just I don't want to be falling over all.
Put it on someone else. Like, you organize your tools, you want your tools, you like your tools. But if someone like in the kitchen leaves a fork out, you're not going to be all mad about it. It's you wanting things organized is different than getting mad at someone else who doesn't care to organize things.
Right.
Yeah, but that might be, again, something we have in our marriage. Like, we have enough respect for each other. I know it drives him crazy if his tools aren't in the right place. So if I go use one of the tools, I put it back where it belongs. Like,
nice.
Hey, that doesn't go there. He moves it. So we have, we have respect for each other's issues, maybe.
And I have a question about that. I was going to ask this. So Dale, with the tool thing, if somebody does borrow a tool and leaves it somewhere else, I know you don't like it, but what is your reaction? What is your...
I don't know. I'm not really confrontational. So I just kind of just go put it back where it goes. That's
because it doesn't happen that much and it's not that big a deal.
Exactly. I mean, I got a buddy across the street and we borrow each other's stuff all the time, but we know we're not going to chuck it out in the yard. So it's not a big, so like, here's your hammer.
Yeah, he's still got your blower from '89. It's great.
So we'll walk over and go, hey, one of them go, oh, I forgot to get his back. And we're like, oh, I forgot I had that. So that's the end of it. I don't know. We've got so much stuff going on. I really can't. I guess don't sweat the small stuff. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, we have to do one thing.
Wait, I want to ask Donna real quick, Brad. Donna, say she's asked her husband, hey, please put your socks in the hamper. Hey, please put your socks in the hamper. Hey, please put your socks in the hamper. And he doesn't.
Same pair of socks, or she asks him every day?
All the time. Every time he takes off his socks.
All the time. Like, she's already had this discussion, and then he won't. Do you think at that point she should be upset or no?
No, because it's not important to him to put socks in the hamper, and it's not a big life crisis thing. So it's different than, something that's more important to complete, like lock the door or whatever it is, like it's a safety issue. This is socks on the floor. Not everybody thinks it's important to make sure socks are in the hamper. Okay. So if she keeps asking, it's important to her. Why is that so important? That's what I'm saying. Like, either you ask him and he does it, or you do it yourself. but to get that emotional, even if it's every day, like no joke, my husband leaves his socks on the floor every day. It eventually makes it into the hamper. If I want it into the hamper sooner, I'll pick him up. Like, it's not like he's a slob throwing everything everywhere. But if it's something that's bugging them every day, and that's not something important like a crisis, it's not really a crisis that they're getting upset at every day, then they have a problem.
We have problems.
Okay. I'm here if you need help.
Wait, what problem? Okay, now we can't do the ad yet. What problem?
I just think if he left his backpack in the middle of the floor every day, and every day I asked him, hey, please don't leave that there. Hey, please, and he continued to do it, I'd get angry. It would drive me
It's not intentional. You can't expect someone to prioritize things that are important to you for no good reason. So, like, in his head, there's something else that's more important than put the backpack away. Okay, like close the door or go to the bathroom or something like that.
an asshole. That's
Yeah, but that's where you want the backpack. Why is it?
Yeah, it's not.
Why is it where you want the
be a
backpack?
priority to
Not
him.
where he wants the backpack.
You don't want him afraid of you. Like, make sure you put
Oh
the
yes,
backpack
she does.
away.
Oh yes, she does. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, we have to do a commercial. Hannibal Greatneck III walked into his new 6th grade class, and there was a cage. It sat among the desks like a benign tumor everyone had learned to try and ignore. There was a mystery here, and Handy was just the 11-year-old detective for the job. Don't Feed the Bully, the best-selling tween novel by Brad Tassell. Get it on Kindle or paperback at Amazon.com. Okay, so I want to try to sell my kid's book. So anyway, but okay.
Picked up my backpack.
Oh, good. You moved your backpack.
You can use
And
the
that's
reward. Hold on, let me give her a solution that might work. You can use the reward system where every time you come home and his backpack's put away, you give him a big kiss. Then he's going to want that. Then he'll make sure his backpack's put away. If you get a reward for it, you're like, good job, I love it. Mwah!
Get out the purple dildo. That's what I say.
Again, we don't have those issues because we respect each other. But if I was with somebody that constantly did that, it would drive me out of my mind. And maybe that's why I didn't choose that person. I don't know.
So if I started doing that and then I started picking it up, this could lead to
The big kiss.
around. All right, rock and roll.
So now he's like, leave the backpack there. Leave the backpack there.
So real quick, we're long. We've got like 3 minutes, but okay. So do you want to do one more question, or let's do one more?
Sure.
And I'm going to skip the whole Bible thing for this week. Did you see that RNC Abby Johnson? Do you know who that is? She went up and she said that there should be one vote per household in this country, and it should be the man that decides, and that women should not be deciding because the Bible says so. And I was just going to throw out a couple of what the thing says, Bible says that women should do, but we won't do this. Okay. So this question I pulled while the thing was on.
It's upside down.
What?
It was upside down.
That's okay. Like you could read it.
I know. Like, we can read it anyway. Okay.
That's why I'll show that this is not my handwriting.
Okay, so I did not write this question.
I didn't write any of these. If you have children from different relationships, do you discipline children the same? I'm not exactly sure if I understand that one, Donna. Okay. If you have children from different relationships, right? And let's say Dale had kids too.
It's a blended family.
Blended family. Do you discipline children the same? What does that even, how do you do that?
Although there wasn't a blended children, so I don't know if you could do separate. So like on my end, so I'm going to tell you as a therapist, the rules in the house need to be the same for both sets of kids. Okay. If you have household rules, both parents get together. What are our household rules? No food in your room, do your chore, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Parents get together and develop household rules and the consequences for breaking those rules. But the administering of the consequences, it's called natural parents natural. So I'll give the consequences to my biological children and you give the consequences to yours, because that messes with, it's called the attachment bond, is if the step parent starts doing the active consequences, they don't have that close of a connection, and it could sabotage the connection before it's well formed. So you want the natural parent to do the discipline, but both parents have to have household rules. Same rule for everybody. We don't have different rules for different like sets of kids. You can have for ages, but not just because you're my kids and you're my kids. That's what my vote is.
Okay. Thoughts?
We didn't do that. Our kids were grown, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you can still have. I don't have any stepkids, and I have lots of thoughts on this kind of thing. Mine is, but I didn't connect it to you guys in the fact that when you married Dale, even though they were older, he didn't come in saying, "This is my house now," even though you're in your 30s and you guys are tone. He came in as, "You're now my wife. Hey guys, I'm here for you too. I'm not here to tell you what to do or how to do it. And we're all going to be nice to each other." I expect people to be cordial and nice and respectful. But when I think about younger kids with step parents, I kind of say, you know what? You kind of drug the kids into this. So new dad doesn't get to be stomping all over kids and demanding this and demanding that, because the kids didn't sign on for this.
Right.
But they have to be respectful. Does that make sense? And
I have to tell you what I see in person in my practice with blended families is, let's say the mom was the disciplinarian and then they get a divorce. A dad will probably have the new female do all the structure, like routines, and it's bedtime, it's bath time, it's eating time, when there's not even a good bond yet. So I see that more with single dads than I do with moms.
Yeah.
I know is, having grown children, personalities are always going to clash. And there will be moments. And I think as grown men, it was important for Dale and my boys to work out the situation on their own.
Yeah, we butted heads
And
on
for
some
me
stuff
to stay
there.
out of
That's
it.
true.
I mean, there have been times where they're like, F you, no F you, and they're walking different directions. And instead of mom making it right,
But that's not.
they, as men, they needed to come together and fix it
Exactly.
themselves. And I think that helped their relationship.
Yeah, they don't bring you into the drama. You're like, that's between you guys, figure it out.
And that was guy stuff. That really wasn't father stuff.
That's good you stayed out of it, because that makes it like gasoline on a fire.
Yeah.
If you got all triangulated in there, that's like bad waiting to happen. So that was good that you did that.
Well, especially at that age, now you're taking sides, and really at their ages, that would have been a bad thing. But I think
you're a big boy.
3 people who can do this. So, wow. Okay. Well, what else is there to do? I can't believe it. So, couple comedy tees. So, these are all your t-shirts. Are you wearing one of your t-shirts now?
I've got on one. Well, what had happened was there's all kinds of funny t-shirts, and we do custom t-shirts. We do t-shirts for comedians and comedy clubs, or whatever. We'll do one shirt. We'll do 500 shirts. So, yeah.
And Dale had masks too in his last.
Yeah, we do t-shirts, we do masks. I just started doing some sublimation, so we can do custom phone cases.
Oh, wow.
License plates. We can do
Brad, put their link in your when you post this, so I can make.
I'll put this show up on the website. It's virtualcomedyshow.com. It'll be the top show starting tomorrow when I get that done. And your link will be in there to this. Also, this is a secondary thing in your lives, but you guys do comedy. And if people want comedy, they can do clean, they can do dirty, they can do corporate. And literally, and I'm not just sucking up to you because you got nothing to give me. You guys are probably 2 of the top comics in the country. I know Clubwise Dale is killing it. Your show knocked me for a loop. And Jodie, you've got to be one of the top 2 comics on Carnival Cruise Lines. I think every time I call to get a gig, they're like, "Yeah, no, it's Jodie." So maybe you go on the sensation in April, but Jodie's going to be on the big ships. So, which is nice. So please go find them for comedy, find their shirts because they're all funny. Donna, go see Donna if you need help. Okay, that is going to be the end of the show. Here's the outro. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Donna. We'll see you later.